What's the most illegal thing you could do with $1? Put 100 pennies in a sock and beat someone to death with it. Throw each penny from the top of a skyscraper, killing 100 people. Aka the ultimate assassin. Start a forest fire. Sort of topical. Apparently having some forest fires is good in the popular Smokey the Bear admonishment shifted public opinion so much that funding and support for starting and monitoring those good fires is low. Apparently good forest fires control undergrowth and repopulation of forests, and eliminating them results in absolutely massive, out of control fires. Yeah, so they do controlled burns, I'm told. They just don't want the general public to start them. Like families on 4th of July, where people can die lol. Buy a butter knife and stab someone. Fun story. I had a younger sibling get suspended because my mom put a butter knife in his lunchbox and the school found it while he was eating. I was suspended in middle school for having ibuprofen. They thought it was something else and even had someone come to identify it. Nope. Just off-brand ibuprofen. Suspended for 5 days and drug and alcohol counseling. For confirmed ibuprofen. All I learned from counseling was how to get high off of Benadryl. Edit. I never thought I would do this. But my highest upvoted comment is about getting high on Benadryl, and I'm ashamed. How to get high off of Benadryl. But trust me, you don't want to, unless you really like spiders. Oh gosh, don't remind me. Always make sure you have a friend to help you though it. Put in on a fishing pole and lure greedy incoming people into traffic, and then loot their bodies afterwards for more money. Damn, this sounds like a good business idea actually. I feel like the kind of people who would run into traffic after a 1 bill aren't the people who drop the best loot. I guess you can make it up with quantity. You do it enough, you're bound to get a couple rare drops. At the very least you can sell the organs. Edit. Today I learned of a game where organ harvesting is a major mechanic. I was just trying to make a weird joke. This would be difficult if the cause of death is car collision. I mean, it's difficult enough on its own to properly harvest and preserve an organ. If the head was undamaged you could sell the brain. I hear they fetch top dollar on the black market these days. Folded correctly it can become a deadly blockage in the airway. You can then use long needle nose pliers to get it out and use it for the same a few more times. Most illegal thing you could do with $1 serial murder weapon. When they are about to die tell them the buck stops here and insist on being called the tax man in the newspapers. After your 15 murders across 7 states, you can go to the gas station and buy gum. The perfect murders. That's the retirement plan for the tax man. Perhaps immediately followed by suicide by cop. So, I'm the bad guy. So that's it. Huh. We are some kind of suicide squad. Hire the cheapest shittiest hitman. Dwight. I think you're talking about Trevor. Angela, so what are your credentials? Trevor, I started following people around to get exercise. Turns out, I'm damn good at it. Angela, do you have a gun? Dwight Snickers, does he own a gun? Show her. Trevor, you tell me. Angela, what is this? Trevor, it's the receipt for my gun. Angela, you don't carry it with you. Trevor, read the receipt. That's a 300 gun. Someone could steal it. Dwight, do you have any idea how many guns Trevor's had stolen from him? Trevor, now I keep it in a safe. Dwight, millimeters hum. Good safe. Trevor, oh, you tell me. Shows Dwight receipt. Dwight, wow. Use it for a payphone to call in a bomb threat at the airport. Yes, I would like to make a bomb threat. Sorry. Today we are booked out. Next week. Sure. Hello. I'd like to make an appointment for tomorrow. I'm sorry, but our first free spot is next Tuesday at 14:00. Ah. You available then? No. Sorry. I was planning to kill myself on Sunday. Me too, thanks. Understandable. Have a nice day. Run around naked with only the one between your butt crack. Hi Mr. Krabs. Me millionth dollar. Rubs all over nutsack. Wait a minute. This isn't me millionth dollar. This is ordinary dollar that's been crumbled up, torn slightly, soaked in the lagoon, and kissed with coral blue 2 semi-gloss lipstick. Actually it's coral blue numbquipping. Start asking everybody I know if they are willing to sell me a bomb capable of killing thousands of people for $1, and then going through with the plan when the FBI inevitably sends an undercover agent to sell a fake bomb to me. Get your real fake bombs here. I'm Canadian. I could buy a kinda surprise and probably sneak it to the US. Dear God. The horror. Hide your children. Hide your wives. We must fight the kinda surprise. Edit made a rhyme. And hide your husbands cause they're surprising everybody out here. 1 go to dollar store. 2 buy toy gun. 3 rob corner store with toy gun. 4 buy real gun with corner store earnings. 5 rob more corner stores with real gun. 6 buy an old surplus pumper fire truck. 7 fill with jellied gasoline. 8 drive to Burning Man. That is not one thing. That is a whole movie plot. What movie? Money to Burn. Murder by Paper Cut. Honestly hate that song by Paper Cut. Spray it with easy off oven cleaner bake then wipe off ink. Reprint it as a $100 bill. Then exchange the 100 bill for 101 bills and repeat. Imagine all the felonies you could commit. Sort of like the I wish for a million wishes thing, but instead of wishes it's felonies. Edit this is my highest rated comment of all time and it's on my porn account. Oops. I felony for a million felonies. I felony I had a will to live. Give the dollar to an undercover officer for sex. Undercover. PFFT. Go for one in full uniform. In a police station. Offer it by trying to stick the money up their butt. While it has a shitload of cocaine inside. If it's going up his but ain't anything a shitload. Trade it in for Chuck E. Cheese coins and sell them as bitcoins. Too easy. Entice a kid into my van with it. Usually takes at least a $5 to be fair. Inflation has hit the child abduction industry hard. But the nice thing is you get the $5 back after the door closes. Edit one of my highest ranked comments is for snatching money from my hypothetical child molesting victim. Starting to get a feel for the Reddit mob. $5 footlong. Quiet yard. I would start an illegal squirrel racing league. Oh shit that's capital I illegal. I'll invest my one into a guinea pig protection unit armed with illegal Iranian black market water guns. Ask a cashier to make change for your dollar. Wait for him to open the drawer and commit armed robbery. How are you going to get the gun? No need for gun. Just make a pointy finger gun and keep it in your jacket pocket. 60% of the time it works every time. As a former gas station clerk, according to company policy we're supposed to give the money even if they're obviously faking having a gun. So it probably works more than 60%. I think I remember an Ask Me Anything years ago from someone who used to rob banks that said he never took a gun with him because that could make the situation so much worse. He always just passed a note that said something like this is a robbery. Quietly give me X never implied a weapon or a threat or anything. Just stated it was a robbery and his demand and they always did because that was their policy. Buy a pencil and go John Wick with a ducking pencil with a fucking pencil. With your legal one you will print another. With the illegal fake one you go to the gas station and purchase one worth of gas. You now have gas bought with a legal tender. You sell the gas to some kids that want to use it for whatever illegal purpose they have in mind. You have now aided in their crime. Proceed to use the funds you gained from selling the gas to purchase more gas. Repeat until a substantial amount of money is gained. Never pay taxes on the money gained. When the feds show up you use the gas you're selling to light them on fire and go on the run. You buy a car in cash with the money you made, and with the original $1 you had you go to the strip club and ask the bartender for some change for the dollar. Proceed to throw your change at a stripper and you get your ass kicked in the parking lot. Bloody and beaten. You take some spare gas you were selling and burn the strip club down. Laughing maniacally while the feds catch you. You're charged with and a lot of other shit, and then you explode because in your free time you learned how to build a bomb out of horse shit and shoe polish. The end. Buy a really cheap skin on CSGO. Trade up to a really expensive knife. Sell for a few $100. Buy a couple of actual axe from the Iranian black market. Annihilate Russia. See you in 4168 years of trading. Tell someone you will give them $1 now, if they give you $5, and you will pay them $9 more after you invest it. Then tell someone you will give them $5 now, if they invest $10 and you will pay them $15 later. Take that $10 and tell someone you will pay them $10 now, if they invest $50 and you will pay them $100 back after your investments. Keep going for bigger dollar amounts, paying back initial investors, skimming a bit off for yourself with each layer. After many times you are giving people 10k for 50k donations which you will never be able to pay them the 90k more you promised, but all those you have lesser debts to you pay off. Eventually you could just start up a regular old business and pay people back, because that's usually how Ponzi schemes work out. Buy lottery ticket at 17 years of age. And then don't claim the winnings as income. Write a death threat on it and hand it to someone famous. Roll it up into a cylinder with a decent amount of density. Head to a hospital. Start sticking it in a few babies' eyes. Limited solely to what I can do with $1. Go to a Subreddit cafe. Get about 10 minutes worth of computer time. See just how many pictures of naked children I can find in 10 minutes. I suspect it would be enough to send me to jail for a very long time. I would have said I'd go to a library and do it for free, then set fire to the dollar bill. But to do that I'd need a source of fire. That's where they get you. Cybercaf would have VPNs proxy or a routes in place. Unless someone specifically noticed it wouldn't draw attention. Go to a public library, run by the government, disable a few filters to run games, and a staff member will walk past and glance at your screen. Reminds me of that honeypot website in GTA 4 you can visit that gives you an instant 5-star wanted level. Use it to buy a stamp and mail a threatening letter to the president. Open a GoFundMe account for ISIS. Donate the dollar and post it to your social media accounts, encouraging others to do the same. At the right dive bars in the Philippines and Thailand. That'd be enough to get a handy from an underage person. Deposit it at a bank, then hold up the bank and rob it for one. But explain in excruciating detail that you want a different dollar. No, I want the third from the bottom of the stack. Buy a candy bar for 99 cents and then tell the cashier to keep the change. Try to shove it up someone's pooper. Roll it up and snort a big fat line through it. Reminder: I do not condone criminal activity of any kind. Buy a small matchbook or lighter at a gas station near a state border. Knock the guy at the counter unconscious. Steal everything. Pour a trail of gasoline leading to the main tanks. Light it and speed away at more than 100 miles per hour over state lines. Steal the cashier's identity and paste your own photo over his. Sell all the stuff from the gas station online and in person. Make some quick withdrawals with the guy's cards and checking account before he notifies his bank. And use the combined money to buy some hard drugs on the other side of the Mexican border and resell them for more money in the States. Buy services of as many prostitutes as possible with the majority of money you acquire. Then drug them and put them in cages using supplies you bought with the remaining money. Sell the prostitutes as sex slaves in Mexico. While there, Buy an AK-47 with your sex trafficking profits and get it smuggled over the border. Once you cross back over, pick up the AK, drive your car into the front window of a gun shop in a reasonably remote place, kill anyone inside with your AK-47, and take as many firearms, ammunition units, and accessories as you can fit in your car, plus any cash and wallets you can find. Attempt to buy some alcohol at small liquor stores in different states later on by writing checks in the names of your victims, using fake IDs created with this and their cards. I'll break off into another paragraph here for the benefit of your eyes. At this point you're way too wanted to live in a registered residence, so you'd better steal some food and camping supplies to make a makeshift home in the wilderness somewhere. Holding up an outdoor supply store will do. Think of it as living out of your car, but you have to sleep in a tent because there are several $1,000s of stolen firearms in your backseat. Now it's time to get big. Move your home to a location a few dozen miles from the Mexican border. Steal a bicycle, bike to the border, illegally cross, and then seek out your contacts with the cartel and various human traffickers. Put out the word that you're looking for enough resin to partially fill an envelope, and you're willing to pay with cash, drugs, abducted people, or kidneys. If they choose kidneys, travel to a small town and kill some people before cutting their kidneys from their corpses. If they choose any of the others, you know what to do. When your resin order comes in, make the necessary payments and mail it to the White House. The Secret Service will intercept it, and your fingerprints will be all over the envelope. But who cares? Now you've clearly and directly threatened the president's life, and you're easily the most wanted American citizen alive. Retreat to your car. Make sure it's in a rural area not directly visible from satellite footage, and get to work. Raiding grocery stores in nearby towns can give you the resources to make basic improvised explosives. You should probably also steal a bigger car. A big windowless van should do the trick. Just make sure you steal someone else's license plates to put on it, so cops won't be looking for the right combination of car and license plates to get you on the spot if you pass by. Painting the car a different color is also a good idea. Buy a chestplate of Kevlar armor through your black market connections. Train in the wilderness for several months, all while rubbing a different kind of animal urine on your body after each big robbery to throw off bloodhounds. Rob some relatively low security banks and burn the cash while you're at it. You're also going to need to steal some canisters of gasoline. Finally, get your black market connection people to hook you up with some form of RPG and some ammo for it. Kidnap people to trade if you have to when you feel the time is right. Drive your van to Atlanta, weapons in tow, launch an armed assault on the CDC, inflicting as much damage as possible. At some point along the way, hold someone hostage and have a staffer show you where they keep the smallpox, then kill them both. This will inevitably be on maximum lockdown, but try to break in with your explosives and RPG if you can. If you get in, do whatever it takes to get the smallpox virus into the water supply or onto a place people touch a lot. Crosswalk buttons would work. Fortunately for the population of Atlanta, you will almost certainly not succeed. Police officers and National Guardsmen will soon be swarming the building, so entrench yourself in the smallpox room and fight them with everything in your arsenal. You'll die, but you'll be one of the most infamous Americans in history. And years later, someone on Reddit would bring up the theory that it all started with a dollar bill.